Okay. Yeah, that was one of the questions that I had kind of lingering is what does death mean to you? Like that
Who
route.
cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? And you know what? Who cares? And also, that's a dark energy that I don't know why it came, and I don't really want it, and I don't really want to invest in it, and I don't want to have more to do with it than I need to make money. Just to
Yeah.
like put it blankly.
Right.
Like, why carry that and why investigate it more? She said what she said.
Okay.
We didn't avoid it. I asked her a lot of really pointed, blatant questions about it. I asked her, what are you scared of? What was that? I mean, she brought the dead body into the session. That was really intense. But what do I need to do with all that? We're just going to leave it. Especially Sierra on a first visit. Like later, who knows? If I'm on a third or fourth visit with someone and there's a theme like that, then maybe I'll follow it. But on a first visit, for all I know, that's just what happened this morning and it's not that important. And she just brought it because she brought it. For all I know, it was a cover for something else. Like, I don't know. My last client, she presented a few different problems throughout the session. So when I asked her how she feels about the problem, she would ask me which one, right? So that's a good question. And all problems hold hands with other problems, right? So you're never going to get someone to only have one problem. That would be awesome. So when they bring multiple problems, you know, as the expert, that's just various expressions of one problem. So I'm not that worried about it. And by the way, Sierra, that's what I think about what she just said is her marriage problem is part of her other problem. So it was all one problem. They just looked like many problems. So Tiani, the answer to that question specifically is what did they bring on the discovery call? What did you take notes on? What did you confirm to them in the exchange after the discovery call is the problem they're coming to solve? And I do think you need to follow through on that. You need to have an email or a contract or something that specifies what's that problem. And then when they ask you, well, which problem, you say the problem that you presented originally, the problem that brought you to the session, because that's what you're paid for, not because the other problem doesn't matter, but just because that's the transaction. It's like if you go to the dentist and they find a cavity while you're getting a crown put on, well, they still owe you the crown first, and then if you want to do the cavity, it's a next level thing. It's the same. I had a lady here who did 3 sessions on narcissistic abuse. And she was like, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I should have met you 20 years ago. She was super thrilled. Then she went on vacation. Then she came back and said, I need to deal with my sugar addiction. And I wrote her back, that's great. I'm happy to do it. You need to book a discovery call because we're going to start over because that's a different problem. And she was like, no, I still have a session left. And I'm like, yeah, but go back and look at your intake form. You never mentioned food or sugar. I'm not going to deal with food or sugar for free. And she's mad at me now. I'm not coming for the fourth one. Okay. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not free. I solve problems fast. The fact that I do it fast doesn't mean that I need to get paid less. Like, if you want to solve a problem the regular way, then pay someone for 8 or 10 or 12 visits. But I'm going to do it for you right away, but I'm not going to include it in the last problem as well.
That
Sometimes
freaks me out.
sometimes things are viscerally, I mean, like tangentially related, like anxiety, sleeplessness. Use your reason, like use your rational mind to say, is this really the same problem? And if it is, continue. But if it's literally a completely new topic, what if it's a can of worms? Like, what if I go into the fourth session and it's a can of worms, the sugar thing? Then what am I going to do? Say, okay, you need to buy more sessions now so I can finish fixing it? No, that's my job to know that beforehand. And by the way, like I'm not mad at her or anything, and I don't know that she's mad at me. Maybe she's just ignoring me. Maybe she's just busy. I have no idea. So I don't want to like put ideas out there that are untrue. I will follow up in a week or two and say, you know, did you get my message? Whatever. Because I don't want to just be like, but I'm not going to like hunt her down now to figure it out. She needs to think it through, decide if it's important. We'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah. So when you said take a look at your intake form, that wasn't part of the original problem. What was her response?
There was no response. She hasn't done anything. That's why I'm saying I will follow up, because maybe that wasn't clear to her. Maybe she needs more explanation. I don't want to just like treat people like we'll figure it out. But I also don't want to like do extra work for people. Like I do want her to go and look or think it over at least so that we can talk about it meaningfully. Yes. And the answer, Tanny, is yes. Even though I sell the results, I still have a limit. My limit right now is 3 sessions per problem. And I used to do 4, but I'm down to 3 now because everyone's wasting my time on the 4th one.